Welcome, everybody, to this next segment of Soldier of the Hour. We have a very, very special guest. If you don't know it already, it is going to be newly promoted Brigadier General Hope Rampy. Thank you so much for joining us today for our show. Thank you again. How you doing today, ma'am?
I am awesome, and thank you so much for having me.
So the reason why, well, there's a couple of reasons why I invited you on the show. One, you are somebody that I know's mentor. And then secondly, you have taken over as the adjutant of the Army. So you're at the top of the chain of your job in the Army. So that's incredible. The 5th female officer to achieve this prestigious title or position in the military. This is just phenomenal. Thank you. I mean, I'm excited to have you.
Thank you for having me.
So let's jump in. I know you have a very busy schedule ahead, and this is not going to be an entire hour. We're going to have less than 30 minutes, so it's going to be rapid fire questions. We are live, so if our viewers, you have questions, it's going to be short. I will follow up with after the segment if anybody has questions. But I want to let our audience, our viewers, know why we're doing this. I've been getting a lot of questions throughout the time that we've been doing the Soldier of the Hour. So what I want to let our viewers know is that this show is to highlight all 150 jobs. I haven't got there yet, but that's my goal while I'm a Army recruiter for the United States Army. And there's a twist to it. And this is why it's the live interviews. Every soldier has a story to tell about their careers. Some good, some bad, but it's their story to tell. So you have two soldiers of the same OS, the same job, and gone to the same location and have totally different experience. So the purpose of these interviews is to showcase your Army story, what we have done in the military for our careers, the benefits that receives, the highlights of what we've done in our careers, and how the military has set us up for life after the military. So without further ado, ma'am, would you mind telling us a little bit about your Army story?
All right. I'm Hope Rampy, and here's my Army story. I'm from Lawton, Oklahoma. I'm a wife, I'm a mom, and I'm a soldier. I went through high school. I never thought that Army was going to be my choice of career. I started college at the University of Oklahoma. I had little scholarship and I had little help, and I realized all by myself how poor I really was. But I knew that I didn't want to stay in Oklahoma forever and that there were bigger things ahead for me. So I applied for an ROTC scholarship. I transferred to Cameron University, and I graduated with a political science degree and as an AG officer. I started out thinking I'm going to do this for 4 years, and then I'm probably going to go to law school, which is what I thought my ultimate dream was. But somewhere along the way, this job became, a love and an understanding that this is a profession of arms. And what it provided me was a place of belonging, a place of purpose. And no matter where I go, I know I'm a member of a squad. Along the way, I've had the opportunity to serve in the brigade staff, to be a detachment commander when we used to have personal services battalions, and then also be an instructor. So I've been on the platform. And so to be able to be an instructor, to give back to the field, and now even pinning on 1-star, knowing lieutenant colonels and colonels that I used to instruct when they were captains, it's just a great feeling. I've also been a staff officer at the division and at the corps level. And so within the AG Corps, the branch, whether you're an officer or an NCO, the cool thing is we can serve at every single level. So from the company to the corps to even our different ASCCs and the staff, joint staff and the Pentagon, you have an opportunity to serve wherever within your Army, and that's globally. I was a battalion commander in a brigade combat team. So I was a brigade special troops battalion commander, and I got to lead troops both in garrison and in combat. The cool thing about our Army, especially as we look for talent management, is it's more of you being able to say, this is what I can give to the team, put me in, and not necessarily always about your branch. So that's a little bit about my story. And now, as you said, I'm the Adjutant General, number 62. So I have a number, which is pretty awesome. I haven't had it tattooed yet, so but really to be able to serve at the pinnacle at the top of my branch, I mean, it's just truly an honor. And to be able to continue to give back to our soldiers and our families and our veterans doesn't get much better.
I mean, and I'm looking at your bio, ma'am, and you've been in a lot of places, and you've been to places multiple times. Afghanistan, Iraq, South Carolina, Fort Hood, Virginia, the Pentagon, Kansas, and Hawaii. So, and you've done incredible things at each platform of those positions. Can you tell us a little bit of what you do at your current job?
Yes. So I would say I think it's day 17 in the current job. I know how to spell it, part of it. So really I have 3 hats. So I'm the Adjutant General, which in the field, if you process a unit award, if you process an award that has to come to HRC, it comes through the tag. If you process an evaluation, it comes through the tag. If you go to a promotion board, that the DA Secretariat is under the tag. Voting assistants, the one person that we have, the civilian that runs the POCs throughout the continent, throughout the globe, actually.
Wow.
She works in the tag, and so the Army's voting message that goes out across AFN overseas for your absentee ballots, the tag makes that commercial.
Oh,
the
wow.
other opportunity I get is I'm the executive director for the Military Postal Service Agency. So that's a DOD job, and so we do it for all services. So those are our military post offices, and we work hand in hand with USPS and our APOs overseas. And then the last fun hat I get to wear is I'm actually the commanding general for the Physical Disability Agency. So the IDES process. And if you're asking, hey, why is it taking so long? Part of it's COVID and part of it's manning. And we're just hoping to continue to drive those numbers back down to 180 days to process those requests.
And I'm surprised that all of these departments are falling underneath your hat. Each department is a large organization within itself, and you are overseeing the management, the safety, and the continuing upward progress of each grouping. That's incredible. I know 17 days on the job, 17 out. We're going to have this next conversation in about 6 months, and I want to know how you're handling it. So again, ma'am, this is a live interview, and we do have some comments throughout our interview. We have some from earlier on the week when we were advertising. But before I go to the live comments, I really want to understand how you got interest into the military for our young ROTC cadets. How did you say the Army, and how did you figure out that the cadet program will pay for your scholarship, for your schooling?
So I had a couple friends who, after high school, had joined the Army. I stayed in touch with them. One of them said, hey, I'm about to do a green to gold, was a little bit older than me. I'm going to do green to gold. I said, what is that? And I said, still not for me. And then when I really realized my material situation, and I thought, I can't do this, and I've got to have something after college. And I knew I could have a job, I could have a paycheck, I could have health care. And, you know, my Army story is until my mom remarried when I was in high school, I never had health insurance. The first time I probably went to the dentist, I was in high school. And so when you have an institution that will wrap its arms around you, good days and bad days, and you know that you have a foundation and a platform, I say, you know, sign me up. And like I said, I quickly realized this isn't a job, this is a profession, and that's why I stayed in the squad.
Okay, wonderful. I mean, and a lot of people take that for granted because they have mom and dad to take care of them. And if you're trying to get out there and do your own thing, it's expensive. It is truly, and you have to pick, do I want heat today, or do I want to have a bowl of ramen noodles? So coming out into the real world and not having experience or a degree is really, it's a struggle. So ma'am, I have my very first live question, and we're going to jump around just a slightly bit just because we don't have enough time. But this live question is coming from Tiffany Hines. Her question is, what is your favorite position to date and why? What has been the most challenging to date? So I guess it's a double question.
So of course I have to say my most favorite position is the one I'm in now. I mean, you have to, and plus, like I said, I mean, it's tag 62. It's the head AG job. I would say, although I love our business as far as human resources, my most challenging and probably within my gut, one that I miss every day is battalion command.
Battalion command, because you're still in the trenches with the soldier at that time. You're not overlooking a brigade or a division's worth of processing. So I could definitely see why battalion is your favorite.
It gives you an opportunity to train and resource and develop others.
Sorry about that. I'm still conducting business as I'm doing the interview. I apologize for that. What are some of the hurdles that you face in ROTC to get to the job that you're doing?
So the hurdle in ROTC is you got to remember, if you decide to go ROTC, that you're a warrior first, you're a soldier first, and then I'm a personnelist. And so understanding, I could tell you, when you first learn how to go through what we call a strack lane, you learn to kind of do some tactical things in the field for those deciding to join. And let me tell you, my reaction wasn't good. I froze in place and I thought, well, what am I supposed to do now? And the confidence, the good thing is, as a cadet, you go through repetition. And the confidence you get, whether it's in the field or in the classroom, carries over, and it's your foundation as you become a lieutenant.
Good advice. So transitioning out of ROTC, you fell in love with HR for our civilian folks, and it's adjutant, right? Adjutant General, Adjutant HR. What draws you to this job? So for our civilian viewers, when I say job in the military, we call it your MOS. So I have to kind of speak both languages to let our, soon-to-be cadets, or our TC wannabes, or our enlisted or OCS personnel. So I want to make sure that they understand our lingo too.
I think, if you're looking to join the Army and you kind of think, what are your skill sets? A little bit, maybe someone would call executive assistant, secretarial work, but do you like taking care of people? Do you like processing their paperwork? Do you like being someone who's behind the scenes, making sure that they're successful in their promotions, their pay? And some days it's a thankless job, but you took care of that soldier. Then AG Corps or being a 42 MOS is probably for you.
And then I have another live question for you, ma'am, where I'm just going to keep rolling at them. Again, I know your time is very precious, so I really want to make sure that, because I think I have a lot of future ROTC cadets online right now, so I think some of these questions are coming from them. I can't say yes because their pictures are in civilian clothes, but this one's coming from Hernandez. What are some of the things that you wish you knew as a junior officer?
What are some of the trust in ROTC? I probably, as a battalion commander, use this a lot. Everything you learn in ROTC is what you need to succeed. Similar to what you hear about everything you need to know you learned in kindergarten. The foundation, trust your ROTC department, trust your instructors, trust those NCOs, believe in the process, and you won't feel that confidence until you're that second lieutenant, first lieutenant, but that foundation is very much provided in ROTC during college.
Wonderful. And then as you are graduating, you become the first lieutenant and you're traveling through your ranks, captain, major, lieutenant colonel, colonel. How did those positions change from what you do as HR? How how did those change from each position you held? Not only, you know, going up the rank, but your location. So garrison versus field versus deployment.
So a lot of our stuff within the personnel field would be done whether you're in garrison or in combat. But how you do it, maybe, for instance, in garrison, I might do it with more civilians. I get the opportunity to work with a lot of civilians. Whereas if I'm deployed in Iraq, I was doing it with mostly military members. And the fun thing is that, I mean, say, for instance, who delivers the mail? It's the green suitor. And so green suitor, I mean someone in the Army. Mm-hmm. And so if you like to fly, what about jumping on a fixed wing or a helicopter with a bag of mail, and you're that one person that gets to give that morale boost? Or you're the one in charge of MWR, Morale, Welfare, and Recreation overseas, and you're the one that gets to deliver, Angelina Jolie to the troops on a off pace. I mean, that's a lot of fun. So there's some things we get to do deployed differently.
So there is a possibility where you can come behind the desk and experience a little bit more.
Absolutely. And then, for a staff officer, which personnel officers get the opportunity, and personnel NCOs, you could be in the joint staff. I've served joint staff and I've served Army staff, and being able to write policy that affects the Army.
Oh, we're back. Sorry, we had a little technical difficulty. Hopefully everybody heard what you were saying.
All right.
But I caught the last in, ma'am. So I'm going to move over to another live questions. I got some questions from earlier in the week, and then I got some great ones coming in. This one's from Joshua Easton. He wants to know, who is your mentor throughout your military career?
I have a couple of different mentors, and I will tell you that I didn't really realize they were mentors at first, but I realized who continued to ask probing questions, check where I was at, and then come back again whether I looked for their advice or not. One person that did that was a Major General retired Barry Price. So he met me when I was lieutenant and didn't realize it. Talked to him. He was a major. Talked to him again. Next time I really saw him in person, he was a colonel in Iraq and I was a major. And he took the time to invest time in me, coaching and counseling. And then throughout my career, in fact, I talked to him, last time I talked to him was June 12th when I pinned on 1 star.
And so is it safe to say it's okay to have more than one mentor in the Army?
Absolutely. And in fact, anybody who talks to me, I ask them to please get someone else's perspective, because I'm only one opinion, and my perception of the jobs I've had may be different from someone else.
Okay. Now, leading into that, did your mentors help guide you through the ladder to get where you're at? And what I mean by that is, what are some of the strategic decisions that you have made in your career to place where you are at now? Was it pushing and prodding, or was you saying, I want to be in that spot and I'm going to work whatever I need to get to that spot? Or did people say, hey, you need to do this, you need to do that?
I followed and was pushed. I think if you are good at a job, no matter what job it is, what I tell folks is cream always rises to the top, and someone always scooped it up. And so while I didn't fight for a certain job, I was, hey, you should probably go do this. I listened to it. I fought back on some positions because it's not necessarily what I wanted to do, but I saluted the flag. And both times I called that senior leader back and I said, you know what I love about the Army? The Army continues to give me what I need and not necessarily want.
Exactly. You have to take the good and the bad. I want to remind my viewers, we're on a very limited time. So if you have your questions, get them in now, because we only have her for a very little time, and that time is precious. Ma'am, I have a couple questions throughout last week that was populating in our systems. We already got, how did you pay for college, the ROTC program, and then we went through how the job changes from each position. Other than just going through your OCS, and for soldiers, NCOs, we have our leaderships programs, our ALC and SLC. What other special kind of training is given for your MOS, your job?
So all officers will go through some type of basic course. And so the personnel Adjutant General Corps basic course, you go through, and I think it's about 4 months long right now. I could be wrong. The captain's career course, you go before you pin on captain, or about the 4-year mark. And that's about a 6-month course, and that's at Fort Jackson, South Carolina. As a major, you go through a command and general staff college, sometime at a service school, or for 10 months at Fort Leavenworth, Kansas. And if you're lucky enough as a lieutenant colonel, you're selected to go through a senior service college. It's a 10-month course. To our personnel officers, we can also go to postal school, and that would be an additional school. Another unique thing about personnel officer, you have to have a secret clearance, and not all officers have to have it, but as an NCO or a private, you have to have a secret clearance.
Good information, ma'am. And that's a lot of training that us, NCOs or the soldiers don't understand, that you have your education levels just like we do at this, according to your ranks and our ranks. So that's very interesting. Another question we had earlier on in the week is, being in the service for so long, what keeps you coming into your work each day?
That's good. I think I read that as like a some of the list of questions, like a heads up just in case.
And it's been answered. Or asked.
Yeah, and I just tell you, it almost kind of gave me goosebumps, because it's like, even through the roughest days or losing someone, in combat, I truly love what I do. And usually the reason you come in is probably the reason an NCO shows up for his platoon every day or his squad is someone's counting on me and someone's expecting me to be there. And I love what I do, and I love being part of the team. And I just can't yet figure out what else I'd want to do. And so until they tell me to take my lunchbox and go home, for quite a while.
No, you're here to stay for the long run. Hopefully it will happen. We will see an additional 3 stars put on your chest. You're going to go to the top, ma'am. Don't settle for less. So,
all right. Well, I'm getting the hook here that I have to dial into another meeting with someone with more stars. I promise I'll answer all the questions if you send them my way, and I owe you some more screen time. Thank you.
I appreciate it, ma'am. Thank you very much. And for you and your team, thank you very much for your time. Thank you for helping cultivating the interest into our Army, ma'am. I'll let you go, and then I'll stay online with my viewers. Have a wonderful rest of your evening at Fort Knox, Kentucky.
Hoorah, soldiers first. Thank you.
Bye, ma'am.
Bye.
All right, you guys, again, that was a short brief. She is brand new in her position. You heard 17 days. She is still charging hard and making all those connections. This was a special edition. Normally our editions are lasting 1 hour. Plenty of time for you guys to ask questions. And we really walk through each stage of their military career. What kind of benefits, what kind of things they did in their careers, what they liked and what they disliked. Because, you have to face it. Every job you have is not all sunshines and rainbows. You're going to have those dark, cloudy days. But really, we want to see how they overcome it. And then all the benefits. School. Do you have another degree? Did you use a VA home loan and purchase your home? Did you pay for your kids' college? There's a lot of things that the Army could provide for you. You just need to walk in and talk to a recruiter. So if you guys still have questions about HR, leave them down. All right, we will get them answered either by our team here, or I will shoot an email and we'll get them answered from the general. So just please keep an open mind on the jobs. Not all jobs in the Army are combat related. Okay, we have 150 jobs to choose from, and all you have to do is call us, walk in, and talk to a recruiter, and we'll get you pointed in the right way. If it's going to be a enlisted contract, a officer contract, or a warrant officer contract for a pilot, we will get you those answers. Now, What I like to always end a show with is be at the right time, be at the right place, and be in the right uniform. Because, and when I say that, is when you come in the military, you're learning everything. So if you have those 3 things down, you're going to be set. Your drill sergeants are going to leave you alone. Your lieutenants are going to leave you alone. Your platoon sergeants are going to leave you alone. Your company commander and first sergeant, all those leaderships are going to leave you alone if you follow those 3 easy steps. Right time, right uniform, right place. All right, you guys, I appreciate your time. Leave your comments. If you're watching this live, hashtag live. If you're rewatching this, hashtag rewatch. And I will catch you on next Tuesday's Soldier of the Hour. And have a safe day. Bye, you guys.
Hard work.